But we're going to go over here to Ty. Ty, it's going to be your post-NFL draft quarterback buy. I think it's a guy you love. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, he's another guy. I'm going to stick with him, and he's been brought up a lot in the show. It's going to be Sam Howell. Right now, obviously, the backup in Seattle, but truly, I feel like that's not going to last for long. I think he's going to take that job in Seattle. I seen a report. They were asking Geno Smith about it, and he said it's completely BS. So he's already starting to
get on the defensive a little bit.
He's getting nervous a little bit. So, no, I mean, Seattle, they need to see what they have in Howell. I mean, Geno Smith, he's Geno Smith. He isn't anything special. He's going to be an afterthought surely after this year. But what excites me about Howell is, he did turn the ball over a lot. But boy, oh boy, he was putting up some giant stats about the first half of that year, man. He almost had 4,000 yards passing, 21 touchdowns. And if he can get into this lineup, I mean, look at the targets compared. I mean, I thought he had some good targets in Washington. Now in Seattle, they're even better.
Yeah.
With DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, JSN at the third spot. So, yeah, he's got targets out the wazoo, and he just needs to clean up the interceptions. But it seems like Seattle does a good job with their quarterbacks, maybe where they can help him clean up those mistakes. If he can, Sam Howell's going to be a great fantasy quarterback for a long time.
Yeah, and the fact of what you can get him for now, man, and we said this, he's taken that job at some point. I mean, Geno had that magical season. I'm happy for Geno. He got a nice contract. We said going into 2023, like, we are selling Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Like, we knew it's like it just isn't going to happen. And like, Sam Howell might not be the long-term answer either, but he was a quarterback one last year, man. And you got to think, like, I mean, like Ty said, they all them great targets. And I'll add this too. The kid had a terrible offensive line in Washington.
Yeah, he did.
In Seattle, they got a good offensive line. Charles Cross, all them guys, like, he will be a lot better taken care of there. And the targets. I mean, targets are great there.
This is a guy that people, and we even said, like, okay, if you want to go up a late first for Sam Howell, and then a lot of people, afterwards kind of like, haha, you paid a late first for Sam Howell. Well, what's his value right now? I mean, because I don't think you could get him for just a second. Yeah. Like maybe a higher end.
Yeah.
But like it's just a player that, like, this is the thing with these quarterbacks, dude. They don't lose a lot of value. Like you only lost probably a couple picks back.
Right.
So that's why we always say, like, quarterback and super flex leagues, dude, they're so important. Like, and they don't really lose value, because here's the thing. If he does become the starter in Seattle, the price shoots right back up, and if not more, before he even throws a pass.
Yeah.
Right. Because people are going to say that he's got a better offensive line. He's got better weapons. Like,
yeah. And if he starts doing that shit he did last year with Washington and starts throwing it all over the lot, and DK Metcalf and JSN are scoring touchdowns, people are going to go nuts.
And that's the move I like to do. Like I said, get the Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell comes out and starts. Sam Howell doesn't. Try to flip it.
Yep.
Get creative. I'm trying to get Sam Howell on my team, get creative to get him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm like you. Like, we kind of talked about this with Justin Fields. Like, I think depending on what Russ does, if Russ comes out and stinks, he comes out and runs for 100 yards, same thing. People are going to go nuts.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with Sam Howell. He was a darling last year. Like, if he comes out and just chucks it all over the lot, people are going to go crazy.
And that's the problem with Justin Fields. We're already paying them 100-yard rushing prices.
Yeah.
We're already paying them, and it didn't happen.
Starting to climb the escalator.
He could easily come out and do that. He could easily knock on wood. I don't want anything bad to happen to the kid. He could easily come out and tear his freaking ACL.
Yeah.
And then what? He might be out of the league.
And I think what we're doing here is a really good job of, like, adding players that, like you said, and like their value's lower than it was. It's still higher, but it's lower than it was. And it's like, if you strike now and this all comes together, you're going to get a boatload in return if you flip them again.
Yep.
Like Muscle said, you want to zig before everyone zigs, then you want to zag before everyone zags.
Yep.
So I like the Sam Howell play. Mus, I know you're a Sam Howell connoisseur as well. What do you feel about him in Seattle and this buy? I think Ty had a good one here too.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, that's great. He's going to have probably a better supporting cast than he did in Washington. We saw what he did in Washington. So,
and really, I mean, you can make the argument too, buy JSN now, because if he comes out, and starts throwing the ball, JSN's value is going to spike like crazy too.
I mean, you look to see what Drew Lock did that one week, and it was like everybody was calling for Drew Lock to be the starter. I don't think Geno Smith's got a long leash.
And this is a whole new coach. That was a Pete Carroll guy. This is a Mike McDonald guy.
Yeah.
Things can change. Yep. There's a reason they went out and got Sam Howell.
Bring down the chopping block.
Yep.
Well, it says here, that Geno Smith's on shaker ground and people realize, and it goes to Sam Howell, and they said that the Seahawks front office believes they got a steal, and they are astonished at how productive he was despite his dysfunctional situation in Washington.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
110%.
Yeah.
And if you can work with him, and I'll say this, could you trade Geno Smith for Aiden O'Connell?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
If you could maybe dump him and,
Yeah, because I don't think there's much left.
Yeah.
Just don't.
No. We're coming to the end of that bridge.
Yep.
No doubt about it.